Rolf, great to catch up with you, sir. I want to talk about freight rates. When freight rates first started picking up earlier this year on the back of this story, there was a sense from some people that maybe that was temporary. Do you see that as the new normal now? And ultimately, are they going higher?
I think we saw an initial reaction was especially spot rates went up a lot because that's a combination of everybody then trying to book things quickly. We were running up to Chinese New Year and a lot of uncertainty. I think right now we see that the services are stabilizing, which means also that the market is getting calmer. And as a consequence of that, I think we also see spot rates in particular coming down.
Just how much time and investment has gone into finding alternative routes? Are you considering more land routes? Are they viable given the increase in rates that you've seen?
I mean, we have opened up a number of new land routes, and we've also taken on some additional ships. And of course, we've also had to buy a lot of additional containers because as all the voyages have become longer, we in reality also need more boxes to transport the same amount of cargo.
Rolf, how easy is it to pass along the extra costs associated with this to the shippers, to the consumers, to the companies that want to ship?
I think we see by and large that these costs are being passed on, and I think that's also reasonable. I mean, if you compare the situation now with what we had at COVID, there, of course, rates exploded. Today, you have a different situation because there was probably some spare capacity in the industry when this crisis hit us, and that has certainly helped us to keep global supply chains going and also to keep the increase in cost within reason.
So if there isn't any pushback, why are some of the profitabilities coming down? Just simply because if you can pass it along, are people shipping less? Are they looking to different routes that are shorter?
I think right now you are still looking at the results that come out on companies in the fourth quarter, where we had exceptionally low rates that were way below cost. That's also why a lot of companies posted losses. I think you will see a recovery in freight rates when you start looking at the first and second quarter. The question is, of course, what's going to happen once the situation around the Red Sea normalizes.
I want to talk about the situation in the Red Sea. The United States seems to be in a cycle of defense, not deterrence when it comes to their posture. Are you seeing any signs of deterrence from the United States or the UK or others when it comes to the Houthis?
Well, first of all, let me say that we really welcome all the efforts that are being undertaken by the US and their allies to try and stabilize that situation. But of course, it's very difficult because it's a fairly large area that you need to defend. And so far, we have seen that the attacks of the Houthis continue. And that also means that we will then decide we have no other choice than to keep our people safe, even if that means that some of the supply chains are then 7 or 10 days longer.
Well, what are governments telling you about securing the Red Sea? Do you have a timeline of when you think you could start using that route again?
I think there are many different opinions on when that is going to happen. I think we hope that we're going to be able to go back through in a couple of months. But I know there are also people that think that it may last quite a lot longer.